What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 3 of Fan Film Talk. I am your host, Colin K, and today we have a very special guest. Her name is Nikki Soohoo, and she is an actress and life coach. And we're here to talk about her big premiere in an Avatar: The Last Airbender fan film. Nikki, thank you so much for coming out. How are you doing?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. This is definitely making my week, especially being in quarantine. Not getting to hang out with people. It's really fun to get to connect with you guys.
Oh, it's our pleasure too. I've been looking forward to this since we decided a week ago to have you on. It's been amazing. So we're going to dive in the way I start every show. I'd like to know your origin. How did you get involved with fan films and filmmaking in general? Tell me your story. We're going to talk about her big premiere in
So this Avatar The Last Airbender was actually my first fan film I've ever gotten to do, but I have been a professional film and TV actress for over 16 years now.
Wow. That is awesome. So if you guys haven't seen it yet, it's a Azula and Zuko fight. And Mr. Producer, could you please play that clip so everyone knows what we're talking about?
You're not going to become Fire Lord today.
Sorry, had to end this way, brother.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not.
No lightning today?
I'll show you lightning.
Woo!
It still makes me excited.
Yes. Yeah, I've rewatched it multiple times. That trailer still gets me hyped. So diving right in, were you an Avatar: The Last Airbender fan before you got the part as Azula?
I was. So back when they were making the live action, which was years ago, I wanted to audition for one of the roles. And so I thought I would do the research, and I was like, I'll just watch one episode. But I think you had to buy the first season in order to see the first episode. Then I ended up watching every single episode and then got hooked. And I freaking love, that's my favorite anime actually.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan too. When I saw it pop up, I think it was just on my Discover page on Instagram. I clicked it immediately, loved it, had to hit you up right after that to try to get you on the show. So I want to know about the exact moment that you got casted as Azula. Tell me what happened, how you felt, the order of events. What was that story?
So actually, the guy who plays Zuko is my martial arts teacher. So I train with him, well, before quarantine, I train with him weekly. Used to be like a couple times a week. And he was actually a part of the project already and thought that I would be a good addition to play opposite him. So him and his team, the Reanimate team, they have all worked together on other projects. And they were like, yeah, I think she'll be great. And they brought me on, and all uphill from there.
Yeah, that's so cool. I know Yoshi from Power Rangers, so it's really cool you got to work with some real Rangers. And you know, the Reanimate team,
Yeah,
just you guys are a dream team for sure.
Our martial arts group that practices together. Sorry, I was cutting you off.
No, I'm sorry, please. No, I want to hear it. Please, you go ahead.
Our martial arts group, we call it superhero training, and actually a number of them are old Power Rangers. There's like Brennan Mejia, and then his little brother, Peter Starso, and then randomly they'll bring some of their other Power Ranger friends in to come train with us. But everybody are into stunts, or they obviously really like martial arts, or are actors and actresses that want to incorporate martial arts into their film and TV work.
Well, I can tell the martial arts was super impressive, along with the bending. Speaking of bending, did they get your element right? What element would you choose if you were a bender in the Avatar: The Last Airbender universe?
So I would actually probably choose water, because I think water has so many elements within it. Like, it can be ice, it can be gas, it can be liquid, and it just seems to me the most healing. Like, I mean, you know, Katara is very healing with her water, but I don't know. There's something about. I just like the way it bends too. I think it looks really cool. Fire is actually scary to me. They don't think are as cool, so I think this is the coolest.
Yeah. So then there's also. Do you remember the episode? I don't remember what season, where the waterbender Katara learned to do blood bending. That's another thing that water elementals can do, which blows my mind.
See? You can control people because you can bend
there's a lot
their blood.
That's scary right there. So that whole, I mean, I've like I said, I've watched the full film multiple times. So many different moments that I appreciate as a viewer. Do you have a specific moment that you enjoyed portraying or acting or fighting the most during that film? Do you have a favorite scene that you did?
I think my favorite line from the film is the "I'll show you lightning," and then just watching. I mean, it looks way cooler once they put the special effects in, but doing those movements and just watching the electricity come off of my fingers, I'm like, wow, that is so badass. It makes me look so much cooler than I am in real life.
I was going to say that's my favorite part too. Just something about that lightning blast. Whew, it is awesome. So I also do fan films. I do a lot of writing and acting, and we get this question a lot, like from upcoming, usually youngsters or just people that haven't really gotten involved yet but want to. What advice would you give to young actors that want to get involved in filmmaking and fan filmmaking, but don't really know what you would tell them to take?
I would utilize social media to create connections with these filmmakers. Like, one of the things as a life coach that I teach to a lot of my mentees, I do mentoring at UCLA as an alumni, and I also do mentoring at OSHA, which is my high school. It's an arts high school, and I mentor those kids. But one of the things that I always try to instill in them is to always be a giver first. Offer something to someone else before you ever ask anything from them. And you'll be surprised what opportunities come to you when you put yourself out there. So if I were somebody that wanted to get into filmmaking or fan filmmaking, honestly, I would reach out to these people on social media. The beauty of social media is that you can literally connect with people that we could never connect with before. Before, as an actor, you'd have to go through your agents and then the casting director and then the producer before you ever got to meet the director, or whoever it is that you wanted to get in contact with. But now with social media, you can create those connections just by DMing them or commenting and creating a relationship with things that they post about. And why not just offer to be a PA for free, a production assistant? Offer to be the guy that gets the coffee, to be the one who is just on set helping for free, but you're learning for free. And when you get in and you show up as somebody who's a hard worker, fun to be around, positive energy, they will want to help you. They will want to teach you. They will want to have you around. They will appreciate you. And eventually they might be able to bring you onto their team. I know a lot of my mentees have been very successful doing that. And with this age of social media, I really recommend putting yourself out there and just offering to help, offering to get involved, even if it's to read their script, even if it's to promote their stuff. You don't even know how valuable it is for a filmmaker to have people be like, I would love to promote your stuff. I would love to share this with somebody, with anybody, with my community. That is a very valuable thing that you can give a person who's a filmmaker. I mean, it's as simple as that, but what are the things that you can offer them that would provide value to them, and want them to maybe want to be able to help you?
That was an amazing answer. I can tell the life coach took over for a little bit. Can you tell me more about that? I found you obviously through the fan film, so I knew you as an actress, and I did my research on your IMDb and everything. But I'd like to hear more about. I know you're a health coach, and I know you're a life coach. Can you explain a little bit more what that entails and what you do?
Yeah, so it actually started out because I did a lot of mentoring. I think that's why, but to be completely honest, maybe it was honestly because I was an actor and people started reaching out to me to mentor them, to coach them about how to get into entertainment, about how to live the lifestyle that I did. And I realized, I was like, oh, wow, people, and honestly, for the longest time, I would do it for free. And people who I was coaching and mentoring were like, no, like, what can I pay you? Like, I find this very valuable. Like, I would like to return, some sort of gift for you giving me your time. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, this is actually something I enjoy so much and I would do for free, because it really lights me up to watch somebody be successful, or to be a part of the process of them becoming successful, for them to believe in themselves, for them to gain the confidence to create a plan of action for their goals. When they make it or they get what they want, it is so fulfilling that it's like when they win, I feel like I won. And I'm like, this was amazing. I am so excited to get to be a part of this. And so I literally coach from an array of things, like goal setting, helping people look at a goal that they want, break it down into small, actionable, achievable goals that they can then implement into their calendar and hold themselves accountable for achieving those goals. As you said, I'm really into health and fitness. I do some fitness modeling on the side, but that obviously comes with the lifestyle, eating healthy, treating my body right. I understand that we only have kind of this one vessel to experience life on this planet, and so taking care of it is very important so that we can be here as long as we can and make the biggest impact. So I love working out, love eating, but eating good food as much as I possibly can. And I like it because I think it really builds this, I don't know, it's like something you can control. You can control what you eat, you can control your exercise, and having the ability to determine that part of your life brings some sort of stability, at least in a life as an actor that is always ever changing. A lot always does seem out of your control, because you don't know if you're going to get the role. You might be the best actress in the world, and it doesn't mean that you're going to get the part, because there's so many other things that are taken into account when you get cast. But you can always control your health and your fitness. And so I'm like, this is something that brings a lot of stability to my life.
Well, yeah, I just from me doing my research leading up to this, I've been watching your stories and your posts, and there's one day where I woke up late, didn't want to do anything, and you're like, I have 20 minutes before I have to record some voiceovers. I'm going to go for a run. Yeah. And I was like, well, I guess I should go for a run too. So you motivated me just from your social media.
Yeah.
Um, so how long did the Avatar fan film take? Was it a multiple shoot day, or how long in general was that whole production process?
It basically was 2 full shoot days with the full cast. And then I think they did a couple of extra shoot dates, like with Katara, when they went to the mountains and stuff like that, and Korra. But yeah, that I wasn't there for, and I don't even know where they shot that. And I think they had like a pickup day. So it was definitely less than 5 total. And honestly, Fanny from it. So we all did this out of a passion project. And I was so excited to get cast where I was going to, 1, get to play a badass, 2, get to do martial arts. I mean, honestly, this role is not exactly in my typical wheelhouse. Like, as you can tell, this is my normal self. I'm pretty bubbly and cute and fun, not ever angry or mad or vicious like that or crazy, So it was a lot of fun to play and very outside of my normal range. And so it was very cool to get this opportunity to push myself and do something different. And they gave me that opportunity, which I'm so grateful for.
Yeah, I was blown away by the whole production, but you definitely stood out in my opinion. Now, I know you also do voice acting as well. I've seen you've been keeping pretty busy during the quarantine with voice acting. Is there any projects coming up that you can tell us about, or is it all hush hush?
Right now, I've been doing a lot of auditions. Unfortunately, the one awesome Disney job that I had right before we went into quarantine got canceled. So that was a little bit of a bummer, but I think everything happens for a reason. And I'm so grateful to still get a lot of side jobs with voiceovers, like smaller jobs. But they come, and at least we get to do something, because right now we can't see anybody. So voiceovers are awesome. I actually got to play my first role was on Nick Soohoo Princess, which is very much in my wheelhouse. I was on a show called Shimmer and Shine. It's a preschool show about genies. And then I also got to play a 10-year-old on Star Wars Resistance. It was like she was like a 10-year-old orphan, and
wow,
that was super cool. Actually, getting to work on Star Wars, just because all the actors that they're able to bring in, because it is Star Wars, are such high caliber voiceover artists. And I had gone to one of the animation like voiceover panels at Comic-Con. Was it last year? Maybe it was 2 years ago. And it was one of the most interesting and fascinating panels I have ever seen, because the artists would change their voices right on the spot, like to 6 different characters, and remember them all and read an entire script to you. And you're like, how did they do that? I mean, I did this one pilot for Nickelodeon, and I just remember we all got to record together, and one of like this really amazing voiceover artist, she was a middle-aged African-American woman playing a 10-year-old white boy. And I was like, whoa, that just doesn't happen in normal acting. Like the fact that she can do that, to me, is phenomenal. I think it's so, so cool. And to get to work on Star Wars meant that I got to be around, voiceover artists that were at this caliber, where they would become monsters and they would become like all these different noises that I don't think people make all the time. And they would just pull it out of their hat and do it right on the spot and become these characters. And I was like, this is freaking amazing. I'm like so fascinated just watching you.
I bet. So you like Avatar. Is it safe to say you like Star Wars? And if so, what is your take the cake or do you have another favorite?
Oh no, you broke up for me for a second. I don't know what you said.
Oh, let me try again. So you said you liked Avatar. You seem like you know your stuff about Star Wars. Would you say one of those is your favorite fandoms, or do you have a different favorite number one fandom, at least in the nerd world?
Honestly, Avatar still takes the cake, especially because it was my first anime. Like, I didn't even watch any of them prior to that, and then it got more into it. But still, I always go back to it because it's like hard for me to sit and just watch a show. Like, I'm not a Netflix binger. I don't binge shows like that. I like shows where it's kind of one episode is like the whole entire thing, like Black Mirror, type of thing where it doesn't continue on, because my schedule's always changing. I miss the episode, and I'm upset that I don't know what's happening. And so Avatar, I sat and watched the whole thing, like hours upon hours. I was literally obsessed.
I'm going to take a question from our audience right now, if you're ready. Angelia says, I'm sorry if I said that wrong, but real question is, what have you learned from acting? How have you applied that to your everyday life?
Interestingly, well, first of all, I'm like, is this my best friend? Second of all, during COVID and understanding like how everyone is dealing with quarantine, I realized that being an actor has been one of the saving graces to my mental health, because one, we're always used to having a job, not having a job, having this instability of a paycheck or money coming in. And because of that, I've always planned my life so that I lived below my means. I had a good amount of savings so that I can survive for a good amount of time without work, knowing that is, that could be the case, whether the economy is running or not. And so in that way, I feel safe. Also, because it is such a volatile industry where you're always getting rejection, you're always feeling this sense of instability or unpredictability. Like, you might get a job, but then you might get fired from the job, or the job gets canceled. Like, these things happen quite often in our industry. And so as it is happening in our everyday life, I'm so used to it already that I have become accustomed to not sitting and kind of sulking in that sadness of like being a victim of the circumstance, but saying, okay, pivot, what now? What can I do now to make sure that one, I survive, two, that I'm happy, three, that I'm doing something that I love, and how do I pivot in this moment? How do I, as Bruce Lee would say, be like water, so that obstacles are not blocking you. You go around them, you flow around them. And I think honestly, acting has given me that perseverance, resilience, strength, confidence, all these words that I think has really helped me find quarantine as a really great opportunity for new opportunities and to find creative solutions to everything that's going on.
Amazing answer. And you tied it all the way back to water. So it is definitely your element if you're a bender.
That's right.
So speaking of which, any talk from a team about a sequel to what we saw on your Avatar short? Is there any possibility of you guys doing another one, a follow-up?
I would freaking love that. As they had stated, they might not have enough money to continue with any of their films at the moment, because a lot of their funds that they get do go into the post-production and all the special effects. I would love, love, love to get to work with them again. I mean, honestly, they're basically my family. Yasmin, the girl that plays Katara, she's like one of my best friends now. And Yoshi, I love that guy. And I see him all the time because he is my teacher. Like, I'm so grateful for him because I'm always training. That's how I'm getting better at the craft is with him. So we're basically family. Like, we're all friends. Nick, Nick and Josh, like, I still see them all the time. So we're friends, we're family. And I'm so grateful for the project because that actually really brought us together.
That is amazing. I can totally relate. Some of my best friends in my life, my whole entire life, I met through film. They're just, like-minded people that, kind of like you and me. We have this huge thing part of our life that we can relate on, and then that kind of, unites us in other ways too. So that's super awesome. So I am going to wrap it up, but Nikki, could you please tell us where to find you, any future projects coming out, what to look forward to? Give us all the details so that our audience can find you and support you.
Yeah, well, you can probably best reach me on Instagram, which I think is stated here. It's just my name, Nikki Soohoo. I'm also on Facebook and Twitter, but and TikTok, but I don't really use those things that often. I don't know if I'm really that hip yet to be on TikTok. I do a lot of martial arts videos, and I'm like, maybe I'll just put those on TikTok. I don't really get it. My website is also just my name. My email is info.nikkisoohoo@gmail. So it's pretty easy to reach me, but I love connecting with fans and friends, new friends, filmmakers. So please reach out and say hello. And thank you so much for supporting and for having me.
It was my pleasure, and we are going to be throwing up your clip on our NerdBot Studios Instagram. Get the word out more, and thank you so much. I had a blast talking to you, and I hope this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship, and maybe we could work on something together someday.
Yeah, I love new friends.
All right, thank you so much. And guys, thank you so much for coming out for Fan Film Talk. This has been episode 3. Make sure you check out episodes 1 and 2. They are on the NerdBot Studios YouTube and Instagram. You guys are the best, and I will see you next time.
Bye.
Are we out?